Hello, my name is Jacob Deininger. I'm one of the librarians at Cape Fear Community College, and your instructor, Mr. Patterson, has asked me to show you guys around some of the resources to help you with your assignment. So I'm going to start out with our Blackboard site, and on this page, you're going to see under coursework, you'll click that link, and under coursework, you're going to see a few options, including um, research resources, and you're going to click on that. And the first link that you're going to get under research resources is going to be the research guide that I built for you guys to help you out with this assignment. Just click onto that. And this is the page you should land on. This page is Googleable. You can just Google up on Google CFCC English 112 Patterson, and you'll get to this guide as well. And it's kind of a one-stop shop for this particular assignment. You'll see a link to the assignment itself. And so your instructor is asking you to basically just go through, do a little bit of research on a particular topic. Technology is going to be involved, and an aspect of whatever your discipline is going to be, whatever profession you're thinking about going into. So down towards the bottom of here, this is kind of where I come in. You should cite 3 to 5 sources to support your argument. At least 2 of your sources should be articles from academic journals in your field. Okay, and your sources should be cited in APA format. So we're going to talk about all that and where to get the best stuff. So back to this research guide. So again, information about the assignment and then some of the best resources for the assignment. If you happen to be able to come into the library, I have listed on the left side of this guide some physical books that are in the collection that might be helpful to you. So if you scroll in the page, you'll see a bunch of different things on technology, smartphones, and different aspects of that. You can also search our online catalog 24/7 right here in this box. And it'll be searching just for the things that are physically in the library. So books, DVDs, that kind of thing. On the right-hand side, some tips and tricks for you guys here on citing tools. Maybe you've never used APA before, and so you want to know a quick kind of guide on how to cite APA. How do you cite an article versus a web page? So some quick guides for that in APA. Also sample paper. What does an APA style paper look like? What do the margins look like? What does the first page look like? It's a little different. It's something that your instructor is going to go through with a little bit more detail. But basically, if you ever get questions about that, I have that in the guide for you too. If you used a citing tool like EasyBib or Citation Machine to create citations for you, I do recommend this resource. It's called MyBib. It works just the same as those, but doesn't have all the pop-ups and the ads, and it will cite things for you in both MLA and also APA style. Okay, so that's citing tools. And then a little further down over here, I just want to point out to you guys the help area for me. So if you do get lost and you're doing some research on this assignment and you just want to try to figure out where you can go to find the best stuff, you can always contact us here. Email me right here. I answer within 24 hours. You can always call the library too. There's our numbers. And then also there's a chat widget here. So if you click on chat, it will bring up a little chat box and you can go ahead and ask a question live. We're pretty much answering that 24/7. So if you're working late at night, chat's a great way to go. Okay, so that's your help tools on the guide. So the main reason I'm here is to show you some of the online databases that we have where you can find those couple scholarly journal articles, that top level of research. So you'll find those right here under current issues articles. The first 2 that I've listed are for the brainstorming phase. So maybe you don't know what your topic is going to be right now. You're still thinking about it a little bit. Both these databases, SIRS and CQ Researcher, are great for that. They cover lots of different current issues, and they kind of give you a nice overview and help you brainstorm. Once you kind of know your topic, then I recommend these guys right below, ProQuest Central, Masterfile Premier, and also US News Stream. ProQuest Central and Masterfile Premier have scholarly full text articles for you, that deep level of research that you're going to need. And then also the US News Stream are newspaper articles. And if you're doing a local topic and you need stuff from the Star News or a local newspaper, it's a great place to go for local issues. Okay. In this little tutorial, I'm only going to have time to go into a couple, so I'm going to go ahead and show you what SIRS looks like and kind of walk through that real quick. And then I'm also going to go through ProQuest Central and walk you through that real quick. Okay, so first we're going to go into SIRS. Click on the link. And since you guys will probably be accessing SIRS off campus, and I'm showing it to you on campus, it's not asking me to log in. It probably will ask you to log in with your normal MyCFCC username and password. Just go ahead and put that in there. You're good, be good to go. Once you've logged in there, you'll see a page like mine. And basically, it's going to give you a bunch of different topics, what students are writing papers about right now, police brutality, virtual classrooms, animal rights. You get the idea. If you know your topic already, you can use a search box up over here, and you can just type in whatever you're looking for. Maybe I'm interested in technology and home healthcare, like maybe home healthcare and the use of smartphones in that. And so it's going to bring up full text articles for me. Anything that I see here that I like, I can click onto. It's all full text. Bring it up. There's the article. The export tools are over on the right. So if you want to go ahead and create a citation for this, you can click on that. The default is MLA. You can change that over to APA style. Copy and paste. You can always email yourself the article too. So you kind of browse through SIRS, find some stuff that you like, and then you can limit over on the left-hand side. I'll talk more about that in a second. So I'm going to go back a couple clicks here, back to our main landing page. And so that's great if you know your search topic. You can go and put it in that box, kind of go through some of the results. But if you're browsing, you can browse through what people are writing about right now. And if you scroll down a little further, you'll see need help choosing a topic, and it's grouped together by different disciplines. So this is really nice for this particular assignment because it's like, okay, maybe I'm doing something that's based upon technology in the business econ world, or maybe I'm doing something in education, or maybe I'm doing something with healthcare or criminal justice, right? So you can go ahead and choose whatever topic that you're interested in. Again, if you still don't know, you want to keep it really, really vague, you can use just the communications and technology because pretty much everything in there involves technology, and kind of see what's listed for those topics. For this one, I'm going to go ahead and kind of focus on a little bit on healthcare and technology for that. So I'm going to choose this category right here where it says drugs, health, and wellness. But any of those ones are fine. They're all going to look sort of like this. You click onto them, it's going to give you a bunch of different tiles with information, and it's all the different topics people are writing about. There's over 500 topics in SIRS, and you kind of go through here. And of course, people are writing about coronavirus right now. They're writing about all different types of things in here, whatever vaccines, e-cigarettes, all kinds of things that will deal with your health and well-being. So if you see anything on here that you're interested in, you can click onto it. I'm going to click on mental health. And it'll bring me up an overview of mental health. Just kind of give me a summary about what it's talking about. You can click on read full summary to get the whole thing. Scroll down and you can see they put together a thesis statement. Does society's view of mental health issues prevent people from seeking help? And then there's viewpoints. So there's a stigma persists and some articles that support that. Most people are open today about discussing that and some articles that support that. You can scroll down a little further. You'll see some political cartoons, some critical questions, kind of help you focus your thought process and your search terms. So talking about teens and mental health, screening tools, that kind of thing. And then also a timeline of sort of talking about mental health in the world in the United States. And you can click on here to see the full timeline if you think that's going to be helpful to you, especially if you're doing a historical perspective. And then one thing that students overlook quite a bit is hiding in this little section here for viewpoints. You can see this little spyglass here that says view more sources for mental health. You can click on that. And what that will do is it'll bring up all of the information they have in SIRS about mental health. So right here at the top is that basically main tile page I was just showing you, an overview of mental health, some of the viewpoint articles, but there's so much more. So if you scroll down, you'll see all the articles that are indexed that way with mental health. Topics that are related to that too. So if you decide you want to focus in a different direction, you can always click on one of those and other articles too. And just like when I showed you when I did the basic search for it, all these ones are full text. So you can click onto these guys. It'll bring up the whole article for you. Over on the right-hand side, you can export stuff out as well too. Cite it, email it, print it if you like. Okay. So back here, I got a whole bunch of results on mental health. And again, you're taking an aspect of sort of technology involved with whatever your discipline is. So I can always add in to the search that's already done for me, mental health, and just add in something like smartphones. And so it's involving smartphones and mental health in some particular way. So I'm just kind of narrowing it down that direction to kind of seeing what's out there and what might be interested in. And so you can click on any of these guys, read through them, decide if they're useful to you. On the left-hand side, you can limit by format if you choose. Again, I mentioned scholarly journal articles at top level of research that we're going to find in the other database, ProQuest Central, in a moment. There is a little bit of scholarly content in SIRS, but most of the stuff in SIRS is going to be newspapers and magazines, which is why we're starting here because it's easier to read a newspaper or magazine, kind of see what's going on in the news, what people are talking about before you kind of start doing real in-depth research. You can also limit by date. And so if you want to find stuff that's a little bit more current, you can do that over here too. Since I put in smartphones, it's probably going to be stuff from the last 10 years or so, but you will find articles that are back from the 80s, 90s, that kind of thing too. So pay attention to that. Okay, so that's SIRS basically in a nutshell. I'm going to click back a couple clicks here. And again, I got here basically just kind of by landing on the main page. And I can either do a search in this box here, or I can go down to choosing a topic and kind of browse through the topics here as well. Okay. So again, that's SIRS. Generally, when you click on the link for SIRS, it should open a new tile. So I'm going to go back to the previous tab. Here where it says Books, Articles, and it'll take us back to our research guide. So I'm going back to the research guide, and I went into SIRS, and I found some current issue stuff. I went ahead and I kind of browsed a little bit. I got some terms now. Maybe I'm a little more focused on what I'm going to do my research topic on. Great. You can go right down below that to ProQuest Central. And you can click on ProQuest Central. And when you go in there, you kind of need to know which kind of topic you're searching for, because you're not going to get a browse feature really. You're basically just going to be asked to do a search in the search box. Okay, so I'm going to click on ProQuest Central. If you've already logged in off campus to SIRS or any other databases, it will automatically land you into the database, and you can just do your search from here. If you haven't gone any place previously for this session, you can click, type in your MyCFCC username and password. So I'm going to go ahead and do an advanced search here. It opened up in a basic search for me. And I was in here playing around a little bit, so it's remembering my search terms. But this is what I want to do. I want to do my topic on home healthcare and smartphones. Okay. And so I can type in my search term here, and then and smartphones. And so it's just a little bit more of an advanced search that I'm doing. And I'll show you some ways of limiting too once we get our results. So that's the topic I'm going to use. If you know your topic, you can go ahead and go into ProQuest Central, and you can type in a little bit more information there and just kind of see what comes up. So I'm going to keep it pretty basic there and just go ahead and do a search. Up come my results. And if you looked over in SIRS when we were doing a similar search, we were finding maybe a couple hundred articles in SIRS. You're going to find thousands of articles in ProQuest Central. There's a lot of stuff here. And so I got about 50,000 articles, which is pretty good. It's going to highlight my search terms in the middle for all the different articles that it has available. And if you find something here that's in a trade journal or a wire feed, which is basically like a newspaper, and they're great, you certainly can use those resources. But if you are trying to find specifically scholarly material, like peer-reviewed top level of research, you can limit over on the left-hand side. So out of these 50,000 results, about 6,000 of them or so are scholarly journal material. So I'm going to click on that. It's just going to pull up the scholarly stuff, and they're identified by these little icons. So you're getting scholarly stuff, the top level of research. These articles are usually a little longer, a little more in depth. They're a study of some kind that's been going on, and that's why your instructor wants you to look at those ones and try to find some good content. Okay, so I've limited to scholarly. Over on the left-hand side, I can also limit by publication date. So maybe I don't want things back from 2003. So you can always just kind of drag this over and just choose a date range if you like. So I'm just go back 5 years or so. So it just gave me stuff from 2015 to 2020. Click on update. And so now my 6,000 results is going to get reduced to about 5,000 or so, which is not surprising. Smartphones are still pretty recent. So most of the articles about home healthcare and smartphones will probably be more recent articles. So you can further limit other ways on the left-hand side, but I'm going to leave it at this because I got a pretty good result set, about 5,000 results or so. I only need a couple for my topic. And then I'm just going to read the title of the article. You're going to see where it's coming from, the journal it's coming from, and kind of browse through these results to see if they're going to be useful to you. Now, sometimes you can't tell for these really academic articles by the title if it's going to be useful or not. So one little trick I want to show you guys is over on the right-hand side where it says Show Abstract. You can click on Show Abstract, and it will drop down an overview of what the article is about. And you can just kind of read through those couple of sentences instead of having to read the whole article and determine if it's going to be useful to you or not. There's also some subject listings down here. If you click on any of these ones, it will take you to things that are indexed just that way. I'm finding smartphones, I'm finding home healthcare, so it sounds like this is a pretty close match to what I'm looking for. So I keep going through this way. I can show the other abstracts. Okay. So anything that I'm interested in. And as I'm finding articles in here, instead of having to do something and export each individual one in ProQuest Central, you can put stuff into your shopping cart. Your shopping cart is over on the left by the numbers here. So this is article number 1 that's come up for me. So I can use this little checkbox here and just add these guys by clicking them and putting them in my cart. So anything that I find that I like, check the box, it goes into my cart. Okay. You can go through your list, check the items that you're interested in. You can go up, you can modify your search as well too. Maybe I want to also talk about mental health. I can do the search again there, and it's going to reduce down pretty low because I'm already down at 5,000 or whatever. So about 2,000 results or so that have mental health in them as well. As I'm going through these guys, I'm like, oh, okay, that looks interesting to me. Let's add that one as well. And maybe this one too. And so as I'm going through my search, I can keep adding stuff to my cart. This is your cart right here. It says 5 selected items. Great. It's also up on the top of the screen. You'll see that as well, your selected items. And right here are your export tools. Okay, so you have cite, email, save to my research, and then also all save options. Probably not going to be using these two. If you plan on going back into ProQuest over and over again and doing in-depth research, you certainly can create an account with ProQuest and save to your research folder in ProQuest. Most students just want to go ahead and get the citations, put them in your paper, and get out of here. Email yourself the full articles and get out of here. So that's what I'm going to show today. So cite. Cite is great for an 11 o'clock in the evening thing, and it's something to do at midnight, and you want to create a bibliography really quick. When I click on cite, it'll bring up all the 5 things or however many things you've selected to put into your cart with the full citations for you in alphabetical order. It's already got the hanging indents, all that good stuff for you. There's the MLA. You can just toggle over to APA. Double check with your instructor. We have both a 6th and 7th edition in here. I'm just going to choose the most current edition. And your instructor will let you know what version of APA you're going to be using. But honestly, there's really not much difference between the 6th and the 7th edition when it comes to the bibliographic works cited content. Okay, so there's my APA 7th. I can copy and paste that sucker into my document. I'm good to go. On the right-hand side, I also have my email option. This is great too because maybe you don't have time to read through all these articles. You want to read them later. Just go ahead and get them out of ProQuest and send them to your inbox, and you can look at them later whenever you like. One thing I like to do is that when you pull the email feature up, this bibliography option is not defaulted. And so I like to select this. This is include bibliographic citations at the end. When I click on that, it's going to tell the computer that to send all the article content my way, but then also to go ahead and send the citations too, and then put them all together at the bottom. That's great if you are selecting 5, 10, 20 items because you don't have to want to go through every single article and find the citation in them. If you put it at the end of your email, it'll all be there together. You can cut and paste it at one time. And again, choose the citation style that you like. We'll go ahead and say APA 7th for this one. Enter your email address, and then your name field is required, so please put your name in there or I won't send it to you. And at the very bottom, click on continue. In your inbox, you will get, wherever email address you send it to, you'll get all 5 articles or a link to the 5 articles with the citations done for you. So ProQuest can save you a lot of time and energy and get to that top level of research that your instructor really wants. Okay, so that's ProQuest Central. In a nutshell. So I'm going to go back to this previous tab here. It says books, articles. So that was from our guide. Again, how did I get here? I'm going to go back to this tab right here, as well as says research resources, and I'm going to go back a couple clicks. So again, in your Blackboard course, you can click on coursework, research resources, and the very first link on here, Patterson ENG 112 research guide. That'll get you to the research guide and everything that I showed you today. So you got your assignment link here. You got full text. You got print materials that are from the library. You got your citing guides over here. And then you've also got your full text stuff. We went into SIRS to browse. And we also went into ProQuest Central to find that deep level scholarly peer reviewed material. Again, at the very bottom of the guide, you have a link to email me, call me. You can also chat as well. Okay. All right. Good luck with your research, guys. If you need anything, let me know. Okay. Thanks.